Here's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
What if you were just able to let it go? Letting go of the idea of forgive and forget, not forgetting, remembering everything that happened, understanding the slights, the treachery, the betrayal, all of the horrible things that might have happened. Let yourself remember them, but become unattached to them. If you were able to let go of the energy that comes about from thinking about those things, could your life be better? Well, that's the invitation for you for today. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, John. Wonderful, wonderful. And good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. Welcome back to another delightful Sunday morning on Zoom. This is going to be a spectacular day. We're closing out the summertime. If you're in the Philadelphia area, it is crisp, sunny, warm. The storms came through, the storms have been through. If your weather is doing something where you are, eventually it'll get nice again. You know the rules on Zoom. Keep yourself muted except when we're sharing or making a big noise together. Let's do that now. Go ahead and unmute so you can repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
I
open
open
myself
myself
to
to
love.
love.
I open myself to joy.
I
I
open
open
myself
myself
to
to
joy.
joy.
I am summertime itself.
And
I am
summertime
summertime
itself.
itself.
And love is right here, right now.
And
And
love is right
right
here,
here,
right
right
now.
now.
And so it is.
And
So
so
it
it
is.
is.
So it is.
Yeah, mute again as I remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you have been on, whatever brought you here today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. And welcome home. There's not a whole bunch in the way of requirements to take part here. A little bit of understanding. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us. And we're each using that power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. The way we say it even more simply, your new life begins with a new thought. If you have extra electronic devices that are going to be disturbing anybody in the next hour or so, go ahead and put them on shush so that we can turn ourselves within. I'm Bill Marchiony, the spiritual director here at New Thought Philadelphia, the lead adventurer. And I'm not leading the adventure. I'm just like the first one who joined up. Our music today is Sonic Yogi. It is always wonderful to have John joining us again. And we have a couple of practitioners for the celebration in a little bit. Joe Catanzaro, RSCP, will lead us in a meditation. And right now, Laura Parsons, RSCP, that's brand new. It's fresh. The ink isn't dry, is going to lead us in our opening prayer.
Thank you, Reverend Bill. Good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. Let's go within. Let us center ourselves in the timeless truth that Spirit, God, is the unconditional, limitless source and supply of all life, all love, all wisdom, all vitality and good. In this sacred space, in this morning celebration, let us step into the full consciousness of divine abundance, knowing that prosperous living begins within. So I affirm that every aspect of this celebration is unfolding now in complete harmony and divine right order. I give thanks for the technology and an appreciation for each person's presence here this morning. And Zoom and its clear connection, excellent audio, and all the invisible threads of light that unite us across the distance. And I bless the music, every note that's played, every vibration from the amazing sonic yogi, the transformative energy and the resonance of that is the pure expression of joy unfolding and elevating our spirits into alignment with our divine worth. And as we go into the silence of that meditation, let us bathe in the eternal reservoir of peace, where the deepest truth and infinite potential reside. And may I bless the readings and the inspiration. May the words we hear and the words that are shared today light an inner fire of our unwavering faith that burns within each being, within each mind that is here, part of the one universal mind. And so I give gratitude for every answered prayer, every offering, every testimony, every breakthrough, every aha, and all the celebrating of the living proof of spirit active in our lives. And so as we focus on the principles of prosperity, let us choose to release all lingering thoughts of fear, of lack, of limitation, or doubt. And remember that we are each co creators with the infinite, each of us worthy to receive our full divine inheritance, which is all good, all truth. And I release this word into the infinite law of mind that always responds yes to our absolute highest and best. I know this Sunday service is blessed. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Wow, nicely done. We almost don't have to do the rest of the celebration. Well, we will. But we will. A wonderful prayer. And the reason that we do a practical prayer is because it works. It changes something in the experience that we're having. If you have a prayer work story that you'd like to share, go ahead and wave your hand, and I would love to hear it. Michelle's got one right there on the ready. Go ahead, Michelle.
And my mute is off. So
Yeah.
yeah, many of you knew that I went out to Montana and Wyoming for a wedding, and also we went and we saw Yellowstone. And because I was panicked with my son driving the car on those mountain roads, I decided to enjoy Yellowstone. We would book a private tour of Yellowstone. And we were in West Yellowstone, and that's where we were supposed to meet them. And he texted me that he was coming at 6 o'clock in the morning in front of our motel. And I texted back and said, we are waiting for you in front of our motel in West Yellowstone. And he calls and says, oh, we have a problem because I'm in front of the Alpine Motel in Jackson, Wyoming, 80 miles away. Deep breath. And I call the company. I'm furious, to say the least, because this is our day to really do this. And I talked to the young woman who's the owner of this company. We realized that the intermediary had made the mistake and sent her the same motel's name, but in Jackson, Wyoming. And she said, well, I'll send my guy up. Instead of starting at 6 in the morning, we'll start at 10, between 9:30 and 10. And we had heard there'd be long lines to get in. The earlier you get there, the better, all this stuff. Okay. So after I do all of that, Michael's happy. He goes back to bed. And I said, let me just treat. And I didn't even first know what to treat for. And then I treated for peace and faith that everything would work out the way it was supposed to. So 9:45, this young man pulls up in his van for 11. That's just for Michael and I. And we proceed to have the most delightful day of our lives, the best tour we could ever have. And at one point we're going through on the boardwalk, waiting for, looking at geysers, waiting for Old Faithful to go off. And I said, let's just sit and let's just meditate on this one geyser and listen and be present. We did it. And he was like in awe of what I did. And then I gave him Science of Mind in the nutshell. And he goes, you should have a podcast. This is exactly what I needed. And that opened up the rest of the day. Michael then proceeded in his version of Ram Dass, adding to this. And at the end of the day, like, we talked about what we loved. And he said, you have been my best customers of the whole summer. And it was delightful. And I was fighting I wanted a reimbursement of this, still have the tour, but for my inconvenience, some kind of remuneration. And I texted the young woman and I said, no need. It was just perfect. And I could never, I would never ask for a reimbursement.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
yes. So it was really prayer work, because we all thought like, this is going to be horrible, even though we're doing it, so.
This is not what I wanted and exactly what I needed. Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Celeste?
Yes, I had a wonderful experience at my niece's wedding, and I got back to my hotel room and I was starting to get ready for bed, and all of a sudden I discovered I didn't see my cell phone anywhere. And I go, oh my goodness, did I leave it back at the where the reception was? Did I leave it in the transport shuttle? And I don't have any numbers to call because where are they? They're in the cell phone. And so I said, well, the only people I can call is the front desk at the hotel where I was staying. So I go to my bedside table to pick up the phone, and there's my cell phone lying face down on a black table, so it's invisible. And I said, good enough to be true.
Had you not brought it to the reception at all?
Oh yeah, I had it in my
Oh, so
absolutely have it at the reception to take pictures. But
okay. Yep. And then,
everything was where it should be.
yep,
Yeah.
even though it was disguised on a black table. Perfect. I love that. I love that. I have one as well, but I'm not going to share it right now just for time purposes. Perhaps I'll squeeze it in a little bit. Right now, I'm looking forward to hearing the announcements courtesy of Karen.
This sultry summer information is on the website at newthoughtphilly.org. Please sign up for the weekly e-newsletters so we can keep in touch. All right, I'll put my playful side back into the box and read the rest of this stuff straight. Okay. Tonight is Metaphysical Movie Night at 7 p.m. on Zoom. We'll screen the movie yesterday and then talk about the spiritual insights and lessons we got from it. Our practitioners in training are offering full sessions, including spiritual guidance, support, practical prayer at no charge. Contact Kathy, Michelle, or Laura. If you're in the Philly area, join the group for Dutch Treat Dinner on Sunday, August 30th. We'll meet at a restaurant in Ardmore to connect and break bread. Contact Michelle to take part. The Unexpected Income Club starts today. Join the group, set the intention to joyously receive abundant unexpected income. Do the daily prayer and donate 10% of the unexpected money to New Thought Philly. Subscribe to Reverend Bill on Substack. He's posting the daily spark from the new book every day. Drop by for 15 minutes of inspiration for one of our daily meditations on Zoom. They're also on Insight Timer, live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Sandy and Karen lead the Power of 8 Intention Circle every Monday evening from 6:30 to 7 to help bring new experiences into the lives of the group members. There are now over 3,000 spiritual adventures in our group on meetup.com. Get your midweek adventure on and meet some new folks at one of the daily meditations. Follow New Thought Philly on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube. Your support means a lot. Please support New Thought Philly and those who feed us with a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes these celebrations work. We gather together ahead of time to get things in order and to have some fun. Email the volunteer coordinator to join the joy. Next Sunday online is the 5th Healing Sunday celebration. Reverend Bill and the practitioners lead us in a process to gain greater insight into our connection with Spirit. Bring your own candle and live original music by Benjamin Mora. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Laura is available for a quick, transformational, miracle in a minute prayer. And stick around in the Zoom meeting after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. So, we'd like to welcome people who are joining us for the first time. And technically, Bill Dennis is not joining us for the first time, but it's been a minute, sir. So, we would love to have you receive this blessing. The rest of us are going to rub our hands together. You just take this in. Feel the warmth, feel the love, send that out. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you so much for sharing that love and shining yet that light of yours today. Welcome. Wonderful to have you here. Sonic Yogi is going to do another song for us. And while he does, go ahead and turn on your camera so that the people who we're in community with can see you, and look into the screen so you can make eye contact with them, because these are the eyes of God with which we are looking and into which we are looking. John. Beautiful, beautiful. Very peaceful. So we light the flames of faith as a reminder of how connected we all are. And Scopey's going to lead us today.
Good morning, everyone. We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. Thank you, Scopey. The reading today comes from a pamphlet booklet from Unity called Turn on the Light, and Michelle will be reading for us.
All right. Our Thoughts Are Magnets by Reverend Bronte Colbert, or Colbert. Eric Butterworth wrote that we are living magnets, constantly drawing to us things that are in accord with our thoughts. His words, "You can control what goes on in your mind," seems doable when we pause to promptly switch a fear thought into a more positive one. But can we do that for most of the day, or when unruly thoughts start a negativity party in our heads? He agrees it might not be easy, but being aware of our thinking is a powerful practice. Our fortune, what we want to experience, be, and have in life, is fueled by the power of our thoughts. So what are we thinking about? Have you checked your thoughts today? Do you have a guide, prayer partner, or friend who helps lift you up when needed? When I feel worried or fearful about something and can't seem to shake it off, I call a longtime friend. She doesn't want to hear any worst case imaginings, which is exactly why I called her. She reminds me I'm in charge of what I think and imagine. I shift to a positive outlook. She lights a candle, and knowing it is steadily glowing across the miles helps me stay in positivity. The power of our thoughts and the concept that we are living magnets has been discussed and taught by authors and speakers for hundreds of years, enlightening and empowering lives. Believing in ourselves, what Butterworth calls in quotes, plussing ourselves invites success and prosperity. It's not a magic wand that makes every bad thing go away, but optimism and knowing you are divinely blessed and guided helps attune you to the power to attract your fortune. How to be a living magnet. Prepare for and believe that what you are seeking is seeking you. Stay the course if it takes a while for things to show up. What you want may change or manifest in a different way. Prosperity authors, such as Catherine Ponder, advise to make room for what we wish to manifest. Perhaps declutter a desk or a closet. Put your financial affairs in order. Release any thought of lack, doubt, or fear. Be aware of what you already have and rejoice in it. Consider a daily gratitude list. Appreciation opens us to receive more good things. We increase our ability to receive when we bask right where we are. If able, step outside now and take in the panorama of nature or imagine it. Breathe in air and life so free and plentiful. Let your imagination run and frolic with the clouds. Try to guess the total number of leaves on a tree or the feathers on a single bird. Abundance reigns. Consider tithing where you are spiritually fed. Prosperity increases with the joy of sharing and giving from your own storehouse of good. Wishing for things like fun adventures, better health, or a certain opportunity, the things you want you. They are tugging on your heartstrings, wishing to come into fruition as much as you'd love to see them happen. Think on those things. We build love by loving, by centering our minds in love and pouring out love unequivocally, unconditionally, and generously. Consider repeating, I build my fortune of love by loving. Love expands as we forgive others and ourselves. Love our world and perform acts of loving kindness. Love expands by giving ourselves a hug, applauding our positive attributes, affirming our wonderfulness, and knowing beyond knowing that we are made of God's stuff. All this works together for our good, for the best life we can imagine. As Butterworth says, you are God's living enterprise.
Wow. Wow, wow, and wow. Gotta say, that's not usually what I think of as a church song. But thank you for bringing that to us today, John. That was awesome. Today, we're going to talk about prosperity principles. And I got to thank Joe for teeing that up with a reading from Eric Butterworth and a quote from Catherine Ponder, because that puts us into pretty good company. Um, And the first thing that I want to remind you of, which you already know, but it's worth mentioning again, is that we live in a universe of infinite abundance. It is a limitless universe. And I go to the whole story about this is a universal creative power that creates galaxies and stars and planets and so much richness, so much variety that it goes beyond our imagination. So it is an infinitely abundant universe. And sometimes people think that we got to pray for abundance. We don't have to pray for abundance. That's just the nature of the universe. Prosperity, on the other hand, is our experience of abundance. It's a personal experience of abundance. And the reminder for us is that there is plenty. There is plenty. And when we are not experiencing that plenty, it's not punishment for us. It is a principle that is unfolding because when we're not experiencing that plenty, there's something that's going on in our lives that is subject to change. Some people think that we are punished and rewarded by God based on our sins and virtues. And that is really comfortable and convenient and easy because we get somebody to blame. If I'm not having the experience I want to have, if I'm not getting enough, it's because God doesn't want me to have it. Oh, poor me over here. I'm the victim. God doesn't want me to have it. And of course, there's no way for me to figure out what God wants because God is God and I'm just down here at the bottom end of this power dynamic, this infinite power dynamic. And it is a great uh, story that people can tell themselves. I'm not going to use the first person on any of this. That people can tell themselves to excuse why they're not getting what it is that they want to be experiencing. But God does not punish or reward us for our sins and virtues. Our sins are errors. Sin is actually an archery term that means missing the mark. A sin is an error. And in fact, a sin is an error that we made in the past. And the punishment comes from ourselves in the form of the three magic words, shoulda, woulda, coulda. As I look back on the experiences that I had, what should I have done? What could I have done? What would I have done? And then if we want to extend that into the future, there's that other magical word, oughta. I ought to do this. I ought to do that. I should do this next. But in fact, the sins or the errors, the experiences that we've had in the past that are not up to our level of comfort, benefit, or desire are in fact there to guide us. They're there to inform us. They're not there to control us. If I've had an experience that I don't like, then I can use that to say, what do I want to have instead? When I go through that similar process again, when I go through another day, when I start another relationship, when I have another bill to pay, do I want to engage with it the same way that I have in the past? Or can I use the experience that I had previously and decide that I want to engage in it differently? Because we are free to choose. And there's a principle of prosperity that not only lets us choose, but fills us with exactly what it is that we are opening ourselves to. And it's not like going to the piggy bank or the cash register or the ATM and getting cash out whenever our ego says that we want to do that. It is a principle that is responding to our belief. So let's take the hard to imagine scenario of somebody who is finding themselves having not enough money. And yes, we've all been there. Then you get to the end of the month and we get to the end of the money first. And then we need to figure out a way to start over. So the situation is described as there's not enough money. And we could think, oh, I need more money. More money will solve the problem. But then what we really get to do is look within, look at our situation, look at our circumstance, look at what brought us to this situation. Money for what? What do I need the money for? Am I letting money go out to do things that are not particularly uplifting or helpful for me? Am I spending more than I need to be spending? Have I committed to having more money available than is actually coming in? How much do I need? How much do I need to make this happen? And why do I need that amount of money? Are there assumptions that are built into this about my need or desire for money? And it's not about blame. And it's not about letting ourselves off the hook and say, well, it's not my fault. I'm just sitting here doing what I'm doing, and the world is doing what it's doing. There's an interesting note that was brought up about economics and psychology. The economists say that the inflation is going on and the prices are going up and wages are rising at about the same rate. And that means that everybody's buying power remains about the same. So the economist will say that's not a problem. However, when you get a raise, by golly, that's because you deserve it. You've been doing a great job. You've been a tremendous value for your employer, for your company, for your job, and you deserve that raise. And when prices go up, it's you're being victimized. Oh my God, how could they do that? It's eroding my buying power. I was supposed to be getting ahead. I was supposed to be able to buy more stuff. I was supposed to be able to have more and more and more and more because I deserve the raise and I don't deserve the inflation. And that's all psychological. And the fact of the matter is, the prices go up on average and the wages go up on average. And as I've mentioned before, you're not average. There are precious few people who understand how intimately connected they are with that infinite creative power that creates everything. That's what a practical prayer is all about. It is recognizing that infinite creative power, that limitless abundance that creates everything. Everything has created each of us. It's created me. You get to say that for yourself. It has created me. And I am using that same infinite creative power to create the next experience in my life. Well, God is not limited by external factors or by the economy or by what the economists are saying or by inflation. So we don't have to live by the law of averages. We can live well above the law of averages. And as you go through those questions, what do I need the money for? What's actually going to be serving me and uplifting me? What assumptions have I made that I can get out of the way? As we clear our consciousness, as we open to the prosperity, that infinite, limitless abundance that shows up as prosperity in our lives, the good shows up. The good shows up. And the averages can still say average. It doesn't make any difference. And the good news for each of us, you are one of 8 billion people here on planet Earth. And if you start suddenly living the best possible life you can imagine, it doesn't change the average hardly at all. You're not taking anything away from anybody else. Good is available, good is at hand. Right now. That's a prosperity principle. And it doesn't change. The reason it's a principle is because it always works. It works for everyone. Does that mean that everybody's going to be experiencing prosperity? It could, but perhaps there is something that we get to do, something that we get to embrace, something we get to let go of, some steps that are ours to take so that we can be experiencing that prosperity that we're looking for. Now, interestingly, when somebody starts praying for financial prosperity because there's a bill coming due or a payment that has come up or a situation that feels upside down, we do prayers to experience prosperity and abundance in those situations. And as I was setting up the process for actually proving that prayer works, my primary investigator, Dr. Andy Newberg, said, okay, so when people come in and it's going to be prosperity prayers, we put them into that category and we track them for prosperity prayers, right? And I said, we can't do that. He said, well, what do you mean? Because he's a scientist, he's a researcher. He loves to be able to divide stuff down so that you can isolate it and continue on. I said, because when somebody shows up and we do a prayer for their prosperity, suddenly there's going to be plenty of money showing up in their life. And the next thing that happens when they come back next week, it's like, well, my leg hurts. or there was this diagnosis, or I really would love to have a boyfriend. Because it changes. It changes. Prosperity is not something that happens just in our financial lives. Prosperity is good flowing into our lives in lots of different ways. We say that we pray for health, wealth, love, work, and spirit. And wealth is the second one. That's about our financial prosperity and also our feeling of enoughness, about getting to that feeling that we are filled and fed and supplied with everything that is going to make our lives happy. The first one was health. It's about our physical comfort. It's about our wellness. And you take somebody who's fabulously wealthy, who's ill, what they really want to do is not pay any attention to their money. They want to pay attention to how they're feeling. And if you take somebody who is desperately lonely or unhappy, then the money almost doesn't make any difference, although it might be a multiplier for them. So for somebody who is finding themselves with not enough love in their life, there are a couple of questions. How do you feel about yourself? Do you love yourself? A little quick exercise. Go look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. Say it like you mean it, and then say it again and again and again and again. Do it a dozen times and see how that lands on you. You know, if it lands on you like, wow, that feels really good to be reminded that I'm loved. And if you find yourself thinking, who's that imposter in the mirror who's trying to make up a story that's obviously not about me? See where you are. You want to be in a loving relationship? You want to have those friendships and those connections? Are you behaving and acting and embodying the person who you want somebody to love? Are you doing your part to be lovable? Because if I'm staying home by myself, not seeing people because I think they're all idiots and being crotchety and ornery and making snotty comments, then I'm probably not going to wind up landing the sort of loving relationship that I'm looking for. That's the law of attraction. That's the law of attraction. And by the way, the sin there isn't something that you did against God. That's an error. If you're not behaving the way that you want to, if you're not feeling the way about yourself that you want somebody else to feel, then you get to change something. The enoughness, the fullness, the richness is all available. Some people say, I hate my job. And it's reasonable. If you're going to your job, if you're going to work because you need to make a paycheck and you're just giving up some of your time in order to get a paycheck and you're going to fund your lifestyle and have a happy time on the weekends or the evenings, then it's completely reasonable that your job isn't fulfilling. That's baked into the assumption. Oh, I'm going to go to work and I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to get paid and that's going to be okay. And that's the bargain that I make. And there's a completely different way to approach that, which is, what are your gifts? What are you bringing to the table? What are you willing to share with your employer, with the clients, the customers, the workforce, the people who are around you? What is it that you're willing to put into that? What are you doing to bring great value to that situation? Because as you bring your skills and gifts and talents to the workplace, it gets recognized. Sometimes it gets recognized even before you show up for the first day of work. And it's like, wait a second, I can reassign this person to an even better job because they can do more than I had originally anticipated. What are you doing to be that gift, to let your light shine in a way that gets recognized? Because as your light shines, it illuminates the whole room. It illuminates the business and the business owners notice. And when the time comes for them to make sure that you're going to be happy, if what they got is money, they're going to give you some of that because, man, you're making the company that much better. So you get to look at what it is that you're doing, what you're bringing, what you're offering. And then there's the law of circulation. The law of circulation means that what goes circles back around and it continues to move and it continues to flow. Eric Butterworth refers to money as currency because it's a current. And without the flowing, if the current stops up, then it stops moving and it stops helping and it stops happening. So what we want to do is keep our money flowing, keep our good flowing through our lives. And I'm going to talk a little bit about tithing. Tithing is a spiritual principle. This is not a commercial for a church where somebody's trying to get you to give them something or give up something. This is a reminder of that prosperity principle of circulation. And the usual formula for tithing is to give 10% of whatever comes in toward the source of your spiritual nourishment. And the idea is when you do that, then the total amount that comes in tends to increase and multiply and get to be more and more and more. As Breen found when he started tithing and couldn't make ends meet before he started, he says, how is it possibly going to work? And so they started tithing 10% off the top of their income. And he said, nothing got worse. Nothing got worse. And you couldn't explain that. You couldn't go to the economist and say, well, why not? But nothing got worse. And then things got better and better and better and better. And the flow continued because it's not something that happens once and then stops. It is circulation. And as the circulation goes, it flows more and more and more. And yes, Jesus, I am going to mention Malachi 3:10, but before I do that, I'm going to mention that the word prove appears in the Bible 25 times. 25 times the word prove is in the Bible. And in 24 of them, it's talking about how we can prove our faith in God. We can prove that we believe, that we prove that we are the children and the and we're willing to do what's ours to do. As the Israelites had a day's worth of food, and they had to prove that they knew that there was more coming tomorrow by using what was there today to take care of themselves. Proving faith. And then there's Malachi 3:10, which is where God is proving something. It says, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse that there may be food in my house. Test me in this. Prove me now, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. That's the line in the Bible that talks about tithing. And oh, by the way, it doesn't work because it's in Malachi 3:10. It works because it is a timeless spiritual principle, and it always works. It's a principle. When we get ourselves into that flow of giving, then in order for the giving to be complete, there's receiving that happens, and the circulation continues and continues and continues. And if you've ever had an experience of tithing and then suddenly finding out that whatever it was that you're giving away, you're getting so much more back in return, then you know what it feels like. The same thing happens in relationships. The more we give ourselves in love and to others and in a group, the more we get back from it. Sometimes it's by people actually giving us something. Sometimes it's by the feeling of satisfaction that we get from the giving that we're doing. But it shows up. So here's your opportunity to prove that it works for you. We've done a thing in the past called the Unexpected Income Club. And this is kind of a dip your toe in the prosperity principles. Because normally what happens when I say give 10% of your income to anything, people go, I can't do that. That's too scary. And go completely past the fact that when you get to keep 10% of God's money, or you get to keep 90% of God's money, the more that you give away, the more you're getting. So what we do that is letting go of your regular income and the money that you're expecting. So the Unexpected Income Club, you sign up for it on the website. Go to newthoughtphilly.org, and it's right there on the homepage. There's a little sign up form there. It is ridiculously simple. You make the commitment to be in the club. It's going to run from now until Thanksgiving because that's Gratitude Day. And so it gives us a nice piece of runway. And every day you do the prayer, which is, I recognize and acknowledge the abundant nature of the universe. It is the limitless creative source of good, eternally sharing its energy and substance. I am aware of my divine nature, part of this one creation, and that I am completely connected with the infinite supply of good. I open myself to the full support of this goodness. I know that I am joyously receiving abundant income from unexpected sources to use and share for the fulfillment of all my desires. And so is every member of the Unexpected Income Club. With gratitude for the divine flow of prosperity in my life, I release this prayer to the law, knowing that the creative law responds with a resounding yes, and so it is. And there's even a recording of that prayer. You can read that out loud. You can memorize it if you feel like it. You can play back the recording. You can download it onto your phone and play it from your phone. It doesn't make any difference. And a couple of things that you'll see in there is that is a classic practical prayer for prosperity, and it includes every member of the Unexpected Income Club. So we're praying for ourselves, and we're praying for everybody else who has made the same commitment. And the cool thing is that the tide, all the boats rise with the tide. And I have had people who have tithed, I think, $1.87 because of the Unexpected Income Club. And the current record is $3,500 that came in because something happened. And that's happened a couple of times. And there's no expectation whatsoever. There is the encouragement to, as God said in Malachi, prove me now, if I will not pour out a blessing, there will not be room enough to store it. So that's the invitation for you for this week, for this coming period of time, is to prove me now, to prove the principle now. And oh, by the way, what happens is when the unexpected income shows up, you donate 10% of it to New Thought Philadelphia, and you spend the other 90% on something fun, or paying off bills, or paying down credit cards, or whatever is going to give you uplift. And the circulation happens and the love unfolds and the good is at hand and you deserve it. So it is.
Thank you, John. And thank you, Reverend Bill. I'm going to take this into some meditation right now. So remember that our thoughts are magnets. And what do we want to attract? Could be money for our wealth. It could be something we need for our health, comfort, vitality. Could be something we want for our relationships. It's a number of things. But first of all, we have to make room. So think about releasing. And actually, before we even do that, we're going to walk through this in a stepwise fashion, but let's get centered and focus a little bit, and then we can. I'm getting ahead of myself. So for this meditation, get comfortable in your chair. Take a deep breath. Breathe in, hold it, and release. Releasing is important. It gives us room for something new. So we're going to do that again. Take a breath in, hold it, and release. A little more room for something new. One more deep breath. Breathe in, hold it, and release. Center yourself in love. Think about the abundance in nature, the expansiveness of the oceans, the grains of sand, the diversity, the multiplicity of different life forms. There's no end. That's what we live in. Center in love and then be grateful. Be grateful for everything we do have. This all creates the environment for something new to come in, to put us into the flow. Then imagine, based in love, based in gratitude, imagine what it is that you would like to have in your life. Health, wealth, connection, creativity, that really fulfilling job. Prosperity comes in different forms, but they all work together. They all work together. So breathe into that. Paint that mental equivalent. Imagine yourself in that flow of good, that abundance pouring out, and know that you are worthy, you are love, you are powerful, you are healthy and vital. You are worthy. You are love. You are powerful. Your thoughts are magnets. Take that into the silence. Feel it, see it, so that you can be it.
So, it is with this inspiration and in this feeling tone of creating something new that we step consciously into this moment of eternal presence, recognizing that spirit, infinite intelligence, the one, is the absolute source and eternal essence of all abundance. Its center and circumference is within each of us, expressing itself as good, love, joy, and light. Life brings its entire nature to bear on every individual. That means each of us not only has God, Spirit, the force, but all of it for us to use and express. As Reverend Bill just spoke, we are each intimately connected to the infinite. That good is available right now. The same abundance the Creator used to create the entire universe is the same abundance alive within each of us right here, right now. In our consciousness is the great creative process. We can choose to affirm that we are centers of divine operation. Within our consciousness is that storehouse of infinite good ever available for us to choose to expand itself through us, expressing its good, and knowing that higher awareness, that it is our divine nature to rise in that consciousness and acknowledge that truth, that good, that source, always keeping us full. To know that spirit is our supply, our vitality, our unfailing good. And so, knowing that abundance is not something I must struggle to gain, to secure. It is the nature of our existence, waiting to be claimed, to be chosen, to be embodied. And so I release any lingering thought of lack, every inherited belief in limitation, any race consciousness suggestion that tries to separate us from source. I'm clearing my mental space of the false notion that our supply is finite. Spirit does not measure, does not hoard, does not withhold. Spirit is always good. And I claim that prosperity is not primarily money. It is a deep inward state out of which money grows. And I choose to keep that money flowing and to tithe and to give to the unexpected income program, to keep it circulating, declaring that giving is my supply. And so I place myself at the center of that stream of power, at the center of that stream of consciousness, and I give, knowing it comes back to me tenfold. And we are always at choice. Seek ye first the kingdom, and righteousness in all things are added unto you. The natural sequence, the outpicturing. And so, with gratitude, I claim my divine inheritance. I give thanks for Spirit being our absolute source and eternal supply. I open myself to more good. I claim with unfavoring faith that every need is met before I even have to ask. Every door opens in divine right order. And I give thanks that I live my life with all the riches of the universe available to me. I am receptive. I am ready. I am taken care of. I am abundantly blessed. And I express that abundance out into the world. And so I release my word to the great creative law of mind that always responds yes to all of our highest and best. And so it is. And now John will sing us another song, taking us deeper into the essence of good.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Joe. Wonderful, wonderful. As we used to say in the radio biz, we're running late but sounding great. This is just wonderful. I was in top 40 radio. Pop songs take 3 minutes and Pink Floyd songs take eight. And, it's worth it. So we're at the part of our program where if something has come up for you that you'd like to give voice to, go ahead and wave your hand and you get to share with the group. Take a stand for it. Okay. I'm going to take that conclusion as people are saying, well, there's a lot going on here, and I'm going to go to the website and join the Unexpected Income Club and run the risk of proving that that works. And maybe it will, maybe not. In the meantime, we'll prime up the tithing as our offering, and Karen's going to share with us.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gifts you share help to fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there's a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen. We'll say the affirmation together. I live
in an
in an abundant universe. I am one with the infinite source of all good.
I am
I
a
am a
center of
center of
conscious
conscious
prosperity.
prosperity.
I
I
enjoy the richness of
richness
life.
of life.
I bless
I
my
bless
gift.
my
My
gift.
gift.
I
share my
with
gift
gratitude and
with
joy.
joy.
I
know
know
that
that
As
as I
I
give,
give,
I
do
do
receive.
receive.
And
And
so it
And
is.
so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Such deep gratitude. John, one more for us? Wow, what a Sunday. Woohoo! Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody who has made this Sunday so spectacular. Let us close with another cacophony all together. So go ahead and unmute one last time. Repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am light.
I am
I am
light.
I am prosperous.
I am
I am
prosperous.
prosperous.
Prove me now
Prove me now.
Prove
me
me
now.
now.
And let my light shine.
And
Let
let
my
my
light
light
shine.
shine.
And so it is.